Welcome to Beauty and the Biz. Discover how to grow your practice with effective cosmetic patient attraction, conversion, and retention advice from author, speaker, trainer, and cosmetic practice business and marketing coach, Catherine Maley, MBA.
Hello and welcome to Beauty and the Biz, where we talk about the business and marketing side of plastic surgery. I'm your host, Catherine Maley, author of Your Aesthetic Practice, What Your Patients Are Saying, as well as consultant to plastic surgeons to get them more patients and more profits. Now, today's episode, we're going to talk about creating content to attract new patients. Because in a world of relentless information coming at the consumer, they can only hear what they're interested in at that moment. Now they're seeking out that information and they come to you instead of your competitors when you have the answers they're looking for to help them make a good decision. And that's where content creation comes in. It's not about your brand or your services, it's about your audience and what they care about. By the way, I built my own business of more than 20 years on content marketing. It just made sense to me to educate my audience on the business and marketing side of plastic surgery, so when you needed guidance to grow your own practice, you turned to me. So, how can you create content that's interesting to your audience? Now, here's my biggest pearl to keep the content flowing. Hire someone who is adept at video editing and social media, and then have them capture you in the day in the life of a plastic surgeon. So they're literally following you around with an iPhone and or iPad, documenting what you do all day. So think about it. You really are a walking, talking content machine with unlimited patient content. So you meet with prospective patients who each have their own story. You explain each procedure in layman's terms. You answer their questions about anesthesia, downtime, and pain. You show them expected results using technology, drawings, or photos. You meet with them before surgery to reassure them. You meet with them after surgery to reassure them again. You see them for their post-op visits to remove bandages and unveil their results, and so on. The point is, you don't have to rack your brain trying to come up with content. You and your patients are the content. And you also have unlimited practice content. For example, you've got FAQs for each procedure. You can introduce new treatments and procedures that you add to your practice. Interesting things happening in your practice, such as you have new hires, or you're renovating, or you're opening your own surgical suite, etc. You've also got staff stories, birthdays, anniversaries, and then of course your very own personal stories. Patients love to hear about you, your family, your hobbies, what you do outside of the practice. It just makes you such a human being like everyone else, but a special human being. And here's another huge pearl to content creation. The secret to content marketing is to create great content that can then be repurposed for many platforms. Since prospective cosmetic patients are scattered all over the internet, they use a variety of platforms to get their information. So how do you be everywhere they are? Well, first, determine which platforms will give you the best audience reach. Then develop a systematic plan to regularly upload content to those platforms. So for example, have your staff take photos and videotape you conducting a live patient consultation, since you're most comfortable in that scenario. And by the way, you've got to get permission from the prospective patient to do this. And then just be yourself and do and say what you normally do and say. The point is for other would-be patients to see you in action, being the expert and explaining surgical procedures. Now, you repurpose that video into a variety of different platform uploads. For example, video is uploaded to YouTube, Vimeo, IGTV, Facebook Watch, and then transcribe the video for articles, blog posts, press releases, and real self Q&A. Now, the photos that were taken will be uploaded to Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat. And then you can even record all of this and start your own podcast and upload it to the top podcast platforms. I actually have another episode on podcasting, so that's a whole other story. So it's not for the faint of heart, though. That's a much bigger project. But do you see how just after one effort on your part, it becomes at least 13 pieces of content spread out throughout the internet on all these various platforms. But be forewarned, this is not a one-time event. This content creation has to be ongoing, consistent, interesting content that is regularly posted. And yes, it takes time and effort, but if you want a steady stream of new cosmetic patients, content marketing is a proven way to get them. Okay, that wraps up this episode of Beauty in the Biz. And please, if you haven't done so already, I would appreciate you subscribing to Beauty in the Biz. And of course, I'd love a good review. And also, if you need any help at all with your own marketing plan or you've got feedback for me, please leave me a message at my website, CatherineMaley.com, or feel free to DM me on Instagram at CatherineMaleyMBA. Thanks so much, and we'll talk again soon.
We hope you found valuable insight on this episode of Beauty in the Biz. For more episodes, tools, and Catherine's free book, visit www.CatherineMaley.com. That's www.CatherineMaley.com. And be sure to subscribe to get the latest practice building strategies delivered to you. And don't forget to share this Beauty in the Biz podcast with your staff and colleagues.